management in production and operation management. As we have already discussed about quality control and quality management, now the next topic which we are going to cover is material handling management. So basically, material handling management is defined as a concept in an organization which plans and controls the material, their supply, their flow from the stage of raw material to the stage of finished good, and hand over goods to customers as per the need of customer in right time. Basically, material management works for the availability of all the raw material and availability of finished good in the market and hand over the goods to the customer. So how can we handle that particular material in the organization, how we supply it, how we control it, everything included in the material management. Material handling is an essential aspect of manufacturing, warehousing, and logistics, involving the movement, storage, control, and protection of material and product throughout the supply chain. Basically, material handling process goes for effective supply chain so that we can store movement, storage, control, and protection of material can be effective or can be in an efficient manner. Supply chain should be we can say barrier free, so that the movement of raw material to the movement of finished good will be very efficient or effective. Effective material handling can improve operational efficiency, reduce cost, and enhance safety. So these are the objectives of material management. Basically, the objectives of material management are divided into two parts. First is primary objective, and the second one is secondary objective. Primary objectives of material handling management are: number one, planning about efficient material. It means from where we are going to purchase the raw material, we have to plan for that. Where we got at low cost, at low budget, we will go for that particular place for the buying of raw material. Okay, a proper planning performer will use to availability of efficient material. Next one is buying. A buying behavior of particular organization are totally responsible for availability of good raw material or quality raw material. So it is a very efficient or very important, we can say, a function that goes towards the good particular good raw material or effective raw material for the production process at a low price. Okay, the supplier cost will be low, and the buying price of that particular raw material will be low. About the buying behavior, or we can say effective buying for the material handling. Next one is receiving and procuring. After the buying of raw material, the raw material are transferred into we can say storerooms. Okay, every organization have a proper store management for receiving the raw material which we have purchased from different places, and they are going to procure the raw material if there is a delay in a production process. So we have to save this raw material for a upcoming production processes. Next one is storing of material. Here we have discussed that there are some stores in the organization for procurement of the raw material. Next one is inventory control. It means where we store the raw material, we have to check either the product is okay or not. We have to check the we can say expiry date of the raw materials, or we have to monitor time to time that the raw material is okay or not. Is it damages, or is it somewhere uh, better or not? Insect cannot enter in the store. Okay, so we have to use some pesticides for the store, so that we can save the store from the outer, we can say, outer environment. Okay, next one is supply of materials. The supply of material is also a very basic, we can say, objective of material handling department, that when the particular department production unit need the material, we have to supply as per the demand of that production unit. So we have to lined up the raw material as per the different units, and the supply or supply units, uh, or we can say the particular machines who supply that material will be effective, or smooth functioning are going in the organization. Next one is distribution of the material. Supply and distribution both are almost same thing. When we are going to distribute the things in the different production units, is called distribution of material. Next one is assurance of quality. That is, we have discussed that when we buy the raw material, so we choose the raw material as per the quality. If the quality of raw material is high, so we assure the production units for making a product with full on quality. Okay, or we assure a customer also that our product quality is higher than other production units. Okay, next one is having a good supplier and customer relationship. So basically, because we are talking about material handling, so we have to connect with the suppliers as well as customers, so we have a good relationship between them. Or we, if the problem has arises, try to resolve these problems. Next one is enhanced departmental efficiency. Basically, material management works for the production efficiency and departmental efficiency. If the work, or we can say the supply of raw material is in a proper manner, so we can reduce the delay of production processes, and we can find out where the we lack the raw material. These are the secondary objectives. There are many secondary objectives, and few of them are as below. Number one, to make decisions. Yes, secondary objective says that after the arrangement of the raw material, we have to take some decisions. The raw materials are sending in a good manner, or either in a good manner or not. Next one is the scheduling of efficient production. To schedule effective production, it is necessary to maintain a raw material storage. If the raw material are stored in the particular storage department, so we are ensured that the production will not stop or will not delay just because of this particular raw material. Okay, so it is our duty to available raw material in the different departments for the for removing the production delay. Next one is make specification of material. Yeah, obviously, when we are making different kinds of product, so raw material will be different. Okay, or we can say different chemicals we are using, so we have to make, or we have to specify these particular raw material, or we have to make a list, or we can say a tag on that particular raw materials or different units, that this particular unit have that kind of material, or we are saving that kind of material. So every particular store unit have a different specifications. Okay, next one is make specification of material, make standardization of material. This is also a important thing, that we have to standardize the materials. Next one is assisting in design of product. To make a better design, it is necessary to maintain the product. We can say to maintain the raw material. Assisting in development of product. Yes, material handling also assists for the development of the product through the production. Quality control on purchased material, uh, which we have already purchased. It's the duty of store managers that they have to maintain the quality of that product as same as they buy. Okay, the product can't be expired or can't be we can say defective, so it's the responsibility of store manager to keep it safe. Next one is availing value analysis and availing value engineering. Obviously, when the we can say if we are making the cotton clothes, so the fabric which we are purchasing should be high cost product, high cost raw material. So the value of our clothes will be high because we are using actually cotton clothes or actual fabric, so we can purchase, we can buy it as per your cost. You can sell it as per your cost. Next one is availing value engineering. When you are making a good attire, or you can say a good clothes, so you have to engineering your machines will be very effective. So try to avoid value, try to avoid the low standard product. Okay, just make the product as per the value. Advancing skills of workers in material management. uh, if you the thing you can say the technology are going to advance, so if you use the old kind of products or old kind of machineries, so that cannot make a good product for the we can say customer. So we use a skilled labor, or we can say a innovative labor for material management. Material management make easy flow of material in the organization and easy flow of material out of the organization. When the material in the organization means when it is coming in the organization, uh, it is necessary to go with different organization with the easy flow. Okay, we supply on the easy flow, and when the finished good is going out from the particular unit, it is necessary to maintain a proper flow of the finished good, or can supply as per the demand. As these are the some functions of material management. What are the managers of material handling are doing? So these are the functions. Number one is primary functions, and number two is secondary function. Primary function consists material requirement planning, purchasing, inventory planning and control, maintenance, the flow and supply of material, quality control of material, and departmental efficiency. Secondary function says that there should be standardization and simplification, design and development of the product, make and buy decisions, coding and classification of material, forecasting and planning. These are some principles which have followed by the material handling department. Number one is the planning principle. Planning means a systematical planning is a crucial for effective material handling. Number two is standardization principle. Before standardization, we go for the planning principle. It means when we are starting to handle the material, so we have to plan in which store we have to put this particular material, or we can say to save this kind of material in which type of department, how you will you specify, how will you judge these particular raw material in the organization. Standardization principle says standardize methods and equipments to simplify handling processes. We have to standardize, or we can say simplify the overall, we can say, a flow chart as per the need of our organization. We have to handle these processes or equipments so that the easy flow of the raw material can done. Next one is work principle. We have to apply some work principles in the organization. Work principle means how can we measure uh, work measurement, work simplification, or work study. Okay, to minimize unnecessary movement of material to reduce efforts and cost. Uh, it means, as we know that we have specify some different areas for the uh, stores, or we have specify different areas for the uh, keeping the raw material. So it is, we have to know that uh, where we have to send the chemical, where we have to send the clothes, where we have to send the we can say like sand, or we can say where we have to send the different chemicals for making a washing powder, or for making clothes, or anything which we are going, so that we can reduce the cost of material handling. Again and again handling or wrong handling can make can increase our cost. So it is very necessary to go for the efficient uh, supply of raw material. uh, Next one is ergonomic principle. Ergonomic principle says that we have to design handling tasks to reduce physical strain and enhance workers safely. If we design a task uh, for a person, or we can say through the machines, so we can easily reduce the workers handwork. Okay, they are doing their the work, or we can supply through the through manually. So try to use machines for the supply of the material, or reduce the physical strain of workers. Next one is unit load principle. What the unit load says, it means move material in its standardized unit to simplify handling and storage. Suppose we are making clothes, so we have to know that in stores, in which stores we put denim material, in which store we put cotton material, in which store we put the synthetic material to specification and handling of the storage. So if a particular unit is making jeans, so we need denim clothes. So for this we have different workers to handle denim department or jeans department. Space utilization principle. Space utilization principle says that we have to optimize the use of all available spaces for storage and movement. It says that we have to use the available space in a efficient manner. If you have a small space, how you can use it for the store management. Just you can use it through the different partitions. You can use the furniture as or designed furniture as per your requirement. If you are saving the material like chemicals in different bottles for manufacturing or pharma in a pharmaceutical company, so you have to use minimum space and more raw material in a very minimum space. Try to utilize the proper space for your operations, okay, or for your supply of the material. Next one is system principle. System principle says that integrated material handling with other operations to create a seamless process. We need to integrate the material handling processes with the operation processes. There will be a connection between these operations, so that it will create a system for that. If this is a sewing department, this is a pressing department, you can say there is a we are knitting of the clothes. So every department is different. Okay, there are number of things are going in a simple production unit, in a single production unit. Okay, next one is automation principle. Use automation to enhance efficiency and reduce manual handling. So first of all, it is very necessary to we have to use automatic machines to reduce manual handling processes. So in the next upcoming slides, I will show you different material handling machines or material handling vehicles through which we can reduce the workers manual handlings. Okay, because it can harm to our workers, so we can say that is a very time consuming process if the work has done through the human resource. Okay, environmental principle says that consider environmental impact and sustainability in material handling process. It means we have to take care of natural resources, or we cannot harm the natural resources, or we should consider environmental protection also. We have try to reuse the things, try to reduce the wastage, and try to recycle the waste products or waste materials. So, this is the scope of material management that says where we can use the material management, in which departments material management is necessary. Okay, so this is the material planning and control, because we are talking about material handling. So, material planning and control is also a place where is the scope of material management. Next is in a purchasing, we can apply material management, or it is necessary to go for the good purchasing in a low cost or effective purchasing in a minimum cost. We can apply material management. Next one is store management. Store management needs proper material handling through the different machines, so that we can justify or we can classify our raw material into, we can through the different name lists. Okay, next one is inventory management. Yes, inventory means where we are putting our raw material for the production should be comes under the material management. Other related function which are comes under the material management is standardization of the products, or raw material simplification of the products, or raw material specification, value analysis, we can say agronomics, and just in time processes. So here we see a flow chart of material management process, how material management process works, and what is the flow of material. Here we see a flow chart, which is very easy to understand how a material flow in the organizations. Number one is, you can see start. Start, after the start, we can go for the planning. First of all, we have to plan that what we are going to buy, what we are going to produce, okay, or what kind of purchasing we have to do. After the planning, as per the customer demand, that what we are going to produce, we have to plan as per the customer, okay, or what kind of things needed for addition of old particular product, or if you are producing totally re-engineered product, so how will you produce it. Okay, so what kind of things you are needed to purchase, or what are the basic requirements which you have to purchase. After this, we reach to the receiving process, where when we have purchased the product, we go for the receiving. And after receiving this product in your organization, or we can say a production unit, you send this product towards the quality control. Here we see that the product is up to the mark, or we can say the raw material is up to the mark for the production or not. If the raw material is not up to the mark, you have to, we can say, you have to uh, change this raw material to another raw material, or you try to use a good material for the purchasing. Uh, Next step is production department. So now when the production is, when the raw material has been checked or it is up to the mark, it will send to production department, and then the production processes are done. After the production process is done, the finished good went towards the inventory control, where the inventory manager check that the is uh, finished good is matching to other products or the same products or not. If the defect inspector says the taste and the aesthetic of the particular bottle of your product is changed, or it is vary from other things, so you have to send it to the quality department again, and then you will go for the warehousing and storage. Here you will store your finished good, and after that send your finished good for the distribution. When the supplier need to distribute, you will take your product from this warehouse and send towards the distributor. Now the distributor channels send your product, or we can say supply your product to the consumer. So this is a material handling process. What is organizational structure of material management? So here we see that there is a hierarchy of material management. The chief, number one, you can see a block, a simple rectangle in which we have written that chief executive officer or managing director of material management, or can say a managing director of the organization. In this managing director, there are number of person comes under this managing director. And so purchasing manager, store manager, material planning and control manager, material handling manager, and shipping and traffic manager are working under the managing director of a particular organization. Now, what is material handling? As we already read that material management, and now the material handling says that it is a movement, protection, storage, and control of material and products throughout manufacturing, warehousing, distribution, consumption, and disposal. In each and every process where we are going to manufacturing, we need a proper material handling. If you put the your product, if your finished good in the warehouse, it is also need protection or control, and in distribution also we need a protection and control, so that uh, the number of unit we have produced will distribute to the particular wholesaler, and after the counting of the particular product, the number of products will be same which we have distributed. Okay. Next one is consumption. After the consumption through the customer or consumer, material handling is needed, and disposal. After the waste or disposal, it is material handling is required. It means how can you use the product, है ना, or what, how, where you sending, where you throwing your waste, it is also called material handling. It means from organization, from material production unit to the home, material handling is working. Okay. It is also defined as the art and science of moving, packaging, and storing of material in any form. Next thing is, what is material handling equipments? So there are some equipments, there are some machines through which we do our material handling in the particular departments. So there are many material handling equipment used as work sites. These includes work lifts, forklifts, carts, pallets, conveyors, conveyance robots, sorters, packing systems, and automated warehouses. So these are some types of material handling systems which we have shown on the screen. Number one is equipment oriented system. In equipment oriented system, there are some different types of system, or we can say vehicles come under. Number one is overhead system, conveyor system, tractor transfer, forklift truck or pallet truck, industrial truck system, and underground system. Have you ever seen the distribution trucks? So you can see that this kind of truck is different than the normal truck. Okay, so it means it has a specification that suppose the bikes are going to deliver, so there is a slope is given in that kind of truck, so that you can easily flow, you can easily move your bike and your, you can say, new bikes for delivering in the different kind of product. They will store, it will store a number of bikes in only a single truck for delivery. So you can see these are some diagrams of different vehicles, or we can say equipments, through which we supply the product uh, in the organization and out of the organization. This is the forklift. We can say that will pick your raw material and send to the different kind of units. This is a pedestrian-led, powered industrial truck. Okay, C is called brand truck. Next one is tractor trailer truck train. Okay, on this you can say their number of pallets are showing. You can easily put your material for the supply. Next one is gravity roller, portable belts, and overhead monorails. These are another different kind of material oriented systems in which we include unit handling, bulk handling, liquid handling, and liquid handling trucks are of different types. Have you ever seen Mother Dairy Milk has gone through a round shaped different kind of truck? You can easily see that there is something liquid are filled. Next one is method oriented system, in which you can see manual systems, machine, mechanist and automated system, job shop handling systems, and mass production handling system. So these are some more diagrams you can see on the screen. Method oriented system, manual system are there. And these are some expandable pallets. These are skid boxes. These are standardized double-deck wood pallets, electric hoist, overhead bridges. So these all are uses for the particular organization for the supply of your product. These are more examples of different kinds of equipments through which we supply the product. This is a kind of auto. You can see that this particular machine uplift the raw material. If your production unit is on second floor or first floor, that will uplift your material. This is a tray type or trolley type equipment, so it will reduce the manual working system. These are some more diagrams you can see on the screen. here you see a container or logistic container for the shipment. Okay, a particular car has taken this, you can say, container for the shipment. He has filled it from the particular production unit and put it nearby the ship, or you can say the bank of this particular river for the shipment. Now, what are the basic objectives of material handling? So, it lower the unit material handling cost. It reduce or reduction in manufacturing cycle time through faster movement of the material. It is a better control of the flow of the material. Next is improved working conditions. It will contribute to better quality and it increase storage capacity. Another thing is it works for the higher productivity at lower manufacturing cost. So these are some principle which is followed by material handling departments. Number one is eliminate the unnecessary material. In the starting of the supply, we can easily eliminate, or we can do, we go for the elimination that is this kind of material is needed or not, or if the material is unnecessary, so we have to eliminate it from the lot. Next is keep moving to the destination. Firstly, basically, the work is the procurement of that particular raw material and to supply it where the raw material, or we can say the finished good, is needed. So keep moving towards the destination from the raw material for the raw material. Okay. Next one is use simple pattern for material. Try to don't use the complex way. Try to use easy way. As we take an example, once you go through the Google Map, you are going somewhere and you are using the Google Map. So somewhere you went stuck. Okay, and what do you think? It's better to know somewhere, or we can say to ask somewhere where is the main road. Okay, sometimes electronic appliances, we can say digital maps and uh, technologies can create problem. So try to use your own flow of your production, or can say own flow of your supply channels. Next one is carry payloads both the way. Try to use payloads on both sides of the you, where you are working. Next one is carry full loads. Next one is use gravity for the downwards. Next is reduce product damages. It reduce the walking distances. Reduce, or we can say minimal accidental hazards. This is a very important point which we have to consider, that through the, if your material handling is good, or you have proper packaging of your material, so it is very it is, you can save your servants, or we can say your labor, to save them from the accidental hazards. Okay. Or it is lack of information sometimes create hazards. So try to communicate with your workers or your suppliers that the thing which you are going to deliver is little bit risky, so please keep it safe as uh, as you want. Okay, try, don't, do not use it in between, or it can harm to you. As a, we can say a petroleum departments, or we can say a petrol petrol pumps receive the petrol, they told to their particular suppliers or workers that the petrol should be saved in a and that kind of place where uh, the catch of fire catching would be very low. Try to use all the fire fighting materials far away from that kind of places. Okay. And next one is basis for an efficient layout. If your layout is efficient manner, so it will be very helpful for you to distribute your raw material and your distribution of your finished good in a proper manner. It faster the supervision because material handling supervision should be high. Okay, through the supervision, we can reduce the occurrence of accidents. We can reduce the occurrence of wastage. We can reduce the occurrence of any kind of problem in the supply. Next one is simplified production process. It can simplify your production process. You can see that this is a flow pattern of material. There are some types on through which you can supply your material. You can see that there are an arrow in the reverse. You can see reverse kind of arrow. Another is N type of flow. This is totally one-sided flow. Okay, this is another one-sided flow. There is a flow in which four categories you can see, or four channels of distribution are seen, and after that will lead to only a one single place. In the next diagram, you can see that there are some distribution channels which has divided into four parts, or you can say one truck has passed away from the production unit, and then he has distributed the material in four autos, and then these four autos reach towards the another place, and then it will supply the product to a single unit. Okay, this is F kind of flow pattern. You can see this is a very complicated kind of pattern that can create problem. This is also a very complicated kind of flow pattern, but this is much better than if you use or you cannot use any pattern. It's better to use that kind of patterns for the supply. So basically, what are the benefits for the material handling? So number one is increased efficiency of production, because you have up to date, or we can say up to the mark in the material handling, so your production will be efficient. Next is better utilization of floor space. It is a duty that we have to use, or we are using a space for storage or for keeping the material, so that will be in a better way or better utilization of that particular floor. Or you have to keep that floor clean and dry for the you can say for saving that kind of raw material. Next one is simplified handling activity. Through the material handling, we can simplify the things or smooth functioning. Okay, next is better equipment utilization. Through the material handling processes, we can easily utilize our equipments in a better way, or we can use the utilization of our all the necessities in a better manner. Next one is reduced in process time, because when we are waiting for the raw material, or we stuck somewhere just because of raw material, it will take process time, it will take the time, or we can say wastage of time. Okay, so we have to try to reduce in process time. Next one is reduce in process inventory, because after the finished good we put the are finished good in warehouses or inventories. So it is try to reduce the timing of in process for the supply. Supplier reached, you have to know that the supplier is coming for taking the products for to delivery, that would be ready for the delivery. Okay, last at the last moment, if you do the packaging, or if you do for a specification, yeah, this kind of product for the to deliver, or this kind of product to deliver, you should know before the supply, or you have to maintain your production or distribution channels. Okay, next one is more efficient utilization of workforce. So all the suppliers who are working, or all the workers who is working in the production unit, they have to know that what are their work, or the assigned work should be done in a proper manner or not. So if the material handling is good, so every worker will know that the material which I have to supply, they know that what kind of machines I have to supply. Okay, there should be a clear picture of each and every worker in the organization. Next is work study. The definition of work study is the body of knowledge concerned with analysis of work methods and the standard of proposed work methods. Now, how can we do a work study, and what are the reasons of doing work study? Okay, basically, it is a body of knowledge concerned with the analysis of work methods. What kind of work, what type of working is doing in your organization. Okay, the standard of proposed work methods. Work study is a stream that deals with the finding new ways of performing a job. If working is going slow or delay, so we have to perform another way, or we have to uh, find another way of working. Okay, so for the better use of equipments and tools, and simplifying the design and standardization of work methods. This is the work study and its disciplines. You can see a flow chart over there. Work study is divided into two parts. Number one is method analysis, and number two is measurement. So, method study is also called a motion study. Uh, Motion study further divided into two different parts. Number one is called macro motion, and second one is called memo motion. Here you can see the work measurement is divided into five different parts. In this, we will study about direct time study, methods, analytical estimation, predetermined motion time system, and work sampling. Now you can see a case study which has given for work simplification or work system, or you can say for the productivity. So you can see there are five employees in this particular chart. There are number of products before they were making before the training. Okay, number of products after training. These are the digits or units which they produced after the training. Now we will find the difference between before and after. So these are the differences. Okay. Now we will add overall number of products before training and number of overall products after training. Now we will add the difference. So 31 is the overall difference which is occurring after the training. But what we have to found, we have to found the total additional profit after training. Okay, uh, per product profit is equal to rupees 100. Per day difference is 31. Total addition profit per day. So we can simply multiply this per day to per day profit. Now it is 3100. Number of working days in a month. We are just calculating as per the removing the Sunday is 25. Number of months in a financial year is 12. Now we are taking a decision as per the given data, how much financial year is giving the profit in 1 year. Okay, so total additional profit we will calculate as per the days, or as per the months, or as per the financial year. So it is the digit comes to 9,30,000 is the profit, or we can say approx 10 lakhs. Okay, in a large firm, if the number of employees is 500, just imagine there are only 5, and just multiply this 5 into 100 and 500. Okay, then we can say multiply the overall calculation to the 10 times. So we found that total additional profit in a large organization will be 10 crores after training. These are the objectives of your work study. So what are the objectives? Number one is to analyze the present method of doing a job systematically in order to develop a new or better method through which we are producing we are the method we are using already. We have to compare this method. Now we can analyze this method. Is there any delay? Is there any problem created by in this method, or you have to follow this method only, or try to use another method? As the thing are going digitalized, or we can say things are going advanced, so we should try to avoid the delays. Okay, because things every person need the delivery on time. Okay, if you gone through Amazon, or you are purchasing through the e-commerce, so you digital you can say digital marketing you are doing. So you know that if you need, or you can say you have ordered the product, and you know that you can receive the product at home only. Okay, or any place where you want to receive. So the things are going simplified. So it is our duty, or it is the duty of our organization, that we have to do better to better services of from our organization. Okay, so and also satisfy our customer need or demand. Another point is to measure the work content of a job by measuring the time required to do the job for a qualified worker, and hence to establish standard time. It means, first of all, we have to know that a single worker, how much time is taking, and how much is the productivity of a single worker. After this, we can calculate the overall productivity of your unit, and you have to analyze that is there any better method to produce, or to enhance your productivity, or not. Next is to increase the productivity. Sorry. To measure the work content of a job by measuring the time uh, that has been done. To increase the productivity by ensuring the best possible use of human, machine, and material resources, and to achieve best quality products, services at minimum possible cost. Basically, after increasing the productivity, we ensure, or we say that we are using the human capacity, machine capacity, and material resources capacity in a very best positive manner. Okay, at a minimum cost, or try to initiate, or you can say try to evolve a new particular type of work. We can say a job or process through which we can enhance our productivity, and we can reduce the overall cost of productivity. Next one is to improve operational efficiency. For making, we can say, to enhance the operational efficiency, we have to do the work study. Okay, work study easily simplify, or we can say identify actually how much work is going on. Okay, so these are some benefits of work study. It increased the productivity and operational efficiency. Of course, because we are working only for that we have to increase the productivity and operational efficiency. Next one is reduced manufacturing cost. Next one is better manpower and capacity planning. It means here we go to analyze the manpower capacity. Okay. Next is improved workflow. If the workflow is resist, you cannot do a good production. Reduce material handling cost, provide better job satisfaction to the employees, fair wages to the employees. Okay, so this was that was the material handling overall and work study.